What you gotta know about me is I'm the youngest of three. Born with brown eyes and a readiness to see, and a readiness to be me. Evie, 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 say it with me.
Evie, Evie, Evie.
Uh-huh. Evie, 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 say it with me.
Evie, Evie, Evie.
Miss Eva Fernandes, Miss Independence, Miss Confidence, Miss Expressiveness. Yes, yes, Eva. Yes, yes, Eva is also how you can find me on Insta. Evie, 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 say it with me.
Evie, Evie, Evie.
Last time. Evie, 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 say it with me.
Evie, Evie, Evie.
So what you gotta know about me is I am the youngest of three. Born with these brown eyes and a readiness to see. And my mother tells the story of a time when I wasn't even one. She was feeding me rice when I pushed her hand out of the way as I began to say, I fee I. I fee I. I fee I. And then there was rice. Rice on the table, rice on the floor, rice all over my face because of course I was Evie, 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 say it with me.
Evie, Evie, Evie.
Miss Eva Fernandes, Miss Independence, Miss Confidence. So what you gotta know about me is I'm the youngest of three, born with these brown eyes and a readiness to read, a readiness to write, to learn how to speak. And though I didn't know, I knew that when my mother asked my father with a wink, where is the CHOCOLATE? I knew. I did think. They were speaking in a code I couldn't intercept, quite possibly, I suspect, talking about chocolate. Nor could I know for sure what the lady on the TV meant when she announced, coming up at 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Then I'd run to the clock and stare at this giant tick-tocking illusion, arrowed hands, moving confusion. I'd run to my mother and say, well, what does 3 even mean? And when will I be able to read? She laughed and she looked at me and she shook her head and she said, Evie, Evie, Evie. Soon, 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 you will learn how to read soon. But I couldn't wait. So that afternoon, I stole into the bedroom and I grabbed my sister's diary out of her bag. Clutching a pen in my hand tight, I began teaching myself how to write. Her name, Clea. C-L-E-A.
Clea!
C-L-E-A.
Clea!
C-L-E-A. Clea! You know, I was writing in cursive before I was writing in print, before I even knew the alphabet. And because no one ever taught me how, I grabbed the pen in the most bizarre way. I still do it to this day. And isn't it bizarre that I became a writer who doesn't really know how to write in the right way? I guess not, because I am Evie, Evie, Evie. Say it with me. Evie, Evie, Evie. Oh yeah. What you gotta know about me is by the time I was 33, I got very, 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 very sick. Yeah. I got very sick because, of course, this ego machine, she was out of control. A lifetime of I fee I slammed into my soul. Accomplishments aplenty, but oh my goodness, the anxiety, the anxiety, the anxiety. And now it's this truth I see, that I fee I, it's a fallacy. It's a fallacy. It's a fucking fallacy. When I fee I becomes the only way to be, the only ideology, the only philosophy, what we forget is the unseen. The unseen forces guiding you is guiding me. I mean, sure, I could say I feed rice, but how can we forget the mother who cooked the rice, and the father who bought the rice, and the farmer who grew the rice, and the birds and the bees and the water that bloomed this rice, from grains into sustenance. So can we just give up this pretense that I feed I? That's ego with a capital E. And it will get you frozen into inaction, paralyzed by perfection, overwhelmed by your hyper ambition. So what you gotta know about me, well, it's not really about me, is it? These days I have a wildly different perception. After much reflection, I believe that I feed I do feed I feed I. But I'm also a small I, a childlike I, a miserable I, a restless I. And sometimes I'm an outrageous ocean of an I, a powerful force of an I, a cocky spoken word artist of an I, a beautiful woman of an I. But through it all, I'm just a little I, swimming in this larger sea of you and me and we and all that's in between the seen and the unseen. The unseen forces guiding you is guiding me. It's what moves the stars in the galaxy. It's what brought this poem to me. It's what brought every one of you here to the yoga barn tonight to be part of this larger we. And so I pray. Bow my hands to my head as I say, may my work, may my smile, may my voice feed the force which feeds me. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May we always feed the force which feeds the we.